Hi there, my name is Tamara Doris, and I'm so excited to welcome you to my channel. Brand new channel, so I wanted to take a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, and tell you about me and about what I do, and offer you some hopefully helpful advice. Now, this channel is developed for both buyers and sellers. And in some videos, I'm going to talk about certain situations from both a buyer and a seller perspective. Other videos I'm sure that I will do in the coming months, weeks, years, maybe just for sellers, and others are just for buyers. And if there's a difference in that way, then I'll certainly title it. But I want to tell you a little bit about me and why I'm doing this and why you might want to listen to me. So my mom was a real estate agent the second half of her life. She couldn't wait to get out of working for Bank of America and lending for residential real estate. She couldn't wait to get out of that and retire early so she could get into real estate. It was her dream. Was never my dream. She used to pull me to open houses, like literally by my hair. I'm just kidding. But, she would be like, oh, come to this open house with me. I don't want to leave you home alone because you're only 11 or whatever it was. And so I would be so bored and we would go look at open houses. That was her idea of a good time. Let's go look at open houses. Like, she had absolutely no way to move. She was a single hardworking mom. She had no way to get us to move. But yet her fun hobby when she still worked at Bank of America was going to look at open houses on the weekend. So glory be when she finally was able to retire from B of A and get a real estate license, and she loved it. Then she tried to pull me in, again, not by the hair, but she tried to pull me into becoming an agent because I was 25. I had two little kids, and she just begged me, Tamara, you'd be so good at this, you'd love it. And I was like, no, I'm not really interested. Anyway, long story short, she convinced me to at least get my license. And it was funny because she passed her real estate exam after 3 tries, and I passed after 1 try. So that was kind of my like claim to fame. I was very, very braggy about that, which I shouldn't have been, but I was. Anyway, so that was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I have been in real estate 30 years in the Sacramento, Carmichael, Fair Oaks, all over the Sacramento region. I really specialize in the Carmichael, Arden Arcade, Arden Park, Fair Oaks area, whatever. I've had listings in the Bay Area. I don't do that anymore. It's too far to drive. El Dorado Hills, I have an agent that works up there. I refer. Roseville, Rockland, I have an agent there that I refer. Elk Grove, same thing. So I don't travel more than 30 minutes these days. That's just my choice at the age that I'm at, and I really prefer to be an expert in the area that I'm in. I have lived in this area within a 30-minute radius of travel for 44 years. So I've lived here a long time. I've lived in different places. I've bought and sold property here and had many listings and purchases here. So I understand this area, but because I said I want to give information for buyers and sellers all over the place, it doesn't have to be in this area. In other words, laws are different in California. They're much more stringent in California than they are in other states, in most other states. New York has a lot of laws. So that might be a close second, but we have the most disclosures besides New York. We have a lot of laws. So the things I'm going to talk about, though, this is not going to be a real estate news channel. I'm not going to sit there and debate interest rates or whatever people want to get involved in with real estate and investment. This is not the channel for you if that's what you want. This is the channel for you if you are a buyer or seller of real estate, or you're getting ready to be a buyer or seller of real estate, and you want to know the real life stuff, things that you need to be aware of, things that will educate you, things that will help you, whether it's how to recognize a piece of dry rot on a house, to what Megan's Law database is all about. I'm going to talk about all sorts of things in this channel. I have a list of things that I think will be really, really useful. But before I go too much further, let me also tell you that in the last 20 years, I have been serving as an adjunct professor of real estate at American River College. So if you know the Sacramento area, the Los Rios Community College School District is, pretty high up there in the ratings. And I'm proud that I've held this position for 20 years now. I've taught everything from real estate practices, real estate principles, real estate finance, real estate law, one of my favorites, economics, not one of my favorites. But all of these together, I feel have given me, as well as the 30 years I've spent in the industry, have given me a really, really large net to pull from, a large pool of information that I want to share. You know, I share it with students all the time. And in fact, I'm going to start having my students subscribe to this channel if they want to, just so that they can understand the right way to talk to buyers and sellers. Because the wrong way to talk to buyers and sellers is like, you know, I'm not going to be myself. I'm going to be so perfect on the video. That's not the right way to talk to buyers and sellers. We live in an internet age now where buyers and sellers are real people and they want to be spoken to like real people. They do not like scammers. They do not like people selling them, cold calling them, pounding on their door, saying, hey, do you know anyone who wants to buy or sell property? Buyers and sellers don't like that today. In fact, I can tell you firsthand that buyers, when they start their home search online, which, you know, it's about 85%. Now, you might think it'd be closer to 100, but there are people, and this isn't necessarily age specific, because I know some people who are older than me and who are way more tech savvy than me. So it not necessarily have to do with age, but I think of people like my mother-in-law, you know, so she's in her 90s. She doesn't have a laptop, right? So when I'm thinking of people that might not be tech savvy, maybe by choice, maybe by age, by whatever it is, they're still going the traditional route, you know, by referral or whatever. But most home buyers are starting their search online. So one thing we've learned as that is transpired is home buyers don't really need an agent at first, right? Now you can watch my other video that I did yesterday on the new NAR lawsuit. Now, by the time you watch this, I might have 5 updates on that video. So you can look for the most recent NAR update. But at this time, right now, buyers can avoid working with an agent until it gets down to the wire. But eventually, if you are in the market to buy a house, you're going to have to use an agent. And, you know, it's the wild, wild west right now, what I just said in the video yesterday, because we don't know what's happening with the whole commission structure and who's going to pay what to whom. But if you are a buyer, your agent does a service, and I, you know, and I'm going to go through it in this channel. I'm going to go through different things, but I promise you that you do need an agent. Can you do it without an agent? Yeah. Is there a chance that you could get, you know, the wool pulled over your eyes? Absolutely. California is a litigious state, and we have more real estate cases congesting the courthouse than you would ever believe. I mean, there are people who have their equity or their purchase price all tied up because of lawsuit, and it might be 6 months till they get before the judge. So you don't want to go that route. You definitely don't want to go that route. Now, I'm not guaranteeing, and it would be illegal and unethical for me to guarantee that if you use an agent, you're going to never have any trouble in your life, because how can I say that? I don't know other agents. I can tell you I'm pretty sure that won't happen if you're working with one of my students, because one of the things I've been pounding in students' heads over the last 20 years is the importance of ethics and transparency. Okay. The reason I brought this up is because if you are a buyer, you are starting your search online and you do not want to talk to agents. I have a website. I get probably 3 leads. We call them leads. If someone comes to my website and asks for a report, like give me some free homes, give me a list of free homes in the Carmichael area, I don't call and bug those people. I don't do it. Why? Because they don't want to talk to me. They in the consumer's mind, it still is like real estate agents or salespeople, or they're snakes, or they're used car salespeople. I don't like that either. I don't want to deal with people like that either. And the last thing I ever want is for someone to think I am that, because I'm not that. So when people come to my sites, or I offer something free and they want it, I'm not going to, you know, pin them up against a wall and say, when are you going to buy a house? No, I'm not even going to bug them at all. I'm just, here's your list. Let me know if I can help you, right? A lot of people already have an agent, maybe, and I'm not going to bug them. I let you know, hey, I'm here. If you have questions, let me know. Sellers, on the other hand, are much more ready to know that if they're going to list their house, that they need to use an agent. Now, when I say need, I don't mean legally need, because it is an option. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such a thing as a for sale by owner. And we call that in the industry, we call that a FSBO. A FSBO is a for sale by owner. And it's very, I think the National Association of Realtors reported a few years ago that 85% of all for sale by owners end up listing with an agent. Just a side note there, if you're thinking of listing on your own, you can do it. But the success rate, there's just so many moving parts. But I will say that agents bring something to the table if they are skilled, experienced, and ethical that you just can't do unless you have that kind of experience, right? You know, those of us who've been doing this a few decades or even just a decade, right? If you've been actively selling houses, then you know a lot of things, a lot of intricacies that the general public just doesn't know. Okay. So what I'm going to do in this channel, and this is a book I wrote, it's called It's Your Move, Inside Secrets to Buying and Selling a House. And what I did is I have a section for buyers and a section for sellers. And so I thought what I would do with this channel is just bring, you know, each video, and each video is not going to be as long as this one, because this is my intro video. This is my, what do they call it? My debut, my cameo appearance, or my debut, just to kind of get to know you and let you get to know me, and that I'm a real person. I'm not an AI avatar. But seriously, I just wanted to introduce myself. So as we do future videos, they will be more like, here's what you need to know about, you know, whatever disclosure, or buyers, here's what you need to know about multiple counteroffers, whatever it might be. I'll be doing it more specific. But this video, I just wanted to meet you. So one of the things I want to talk about that no one ever talks about, we talk about Dow Jones, we talk about interest rates, we talk about percentages and units sold. But you know what we don't talk about? We don't talk about the emotional aspect of real estate. And call me crazy, but I think it's really important. And the reason it's so important is because you're dealing with such a big asset. Whether you're buying it or selling it, real estate is a big asset. Now, if you tell me that people do not get emotional about money, I will say, yes, they do. People get very emotional about money. So one of the things that if you have a lot of experience, then maybe you're an investor, maybe you're like Cool Hand Luke, like I can handle anything. You know, I meditate 20 hours a day. Fine. But the majority of people that I know and have worked with and have observed tend to get very emotional when they're buying or selling a house. And they don't do it on purpose. I don't mean they get emotional like, hand me the Kleenex, I'm going to cry my eyes out. I mean, it gets very stressful because it's like a roller coaster. You find a house you love, you're super happy. You write an offer, the seller is super happy. You're both super happy. Everything's grand. Then mistakes happen. Nobody's happy now. Termites get found. Nobody's happy now. Buyer wants seller to pay for expenses or repairs. Seller's not happy now. Buyer's not happy that seller's not happy. Seller's not going to pay. Buyers are like, well, then I'm not buying it. And then agents like, it's very emotional. It's a very emotional industry. And it's like a roller coaster. And so the analogy that I want to give you, I want to offer this up, is think about getting married. When you get married, there's a honeymoon phase, right? Or let's say before you even have the honeymoon phase. Let's say we'll go, I love the show Love is Blind, guilty pleasure. But let's say that you're not even at the honeymoon stage and you find an offer or a house that you like and you want to move forward with it. You're at the Love is Blind stage right now. And then you go look at it the second time because you're going to write the offer and you get cold feet. Just like in a wedding, you get cold feet. You're like, It's so important that you go into this process, whether it's buying or selling a house, and you are really, really attuned to all the things that can go on. And this is where having an agent that you love, that you trust, that's transparent, that's ethical, is so vital. Now, in future videos, I'm going to refer to this book that I showed you before. I'm going to refer to this book because I'm going to talk about different sections. But for right now, I want to tell you, I will put a link down below. And the part that I just said about the emotional part, I talk about in this book. I talk about things like, this is what you need to know about objections. This is what you need to know about commission. This is what you need to know about having a lockbox on your house. I give this advice as well for buyers. This is what you need to know when you're looking at properties. This is how you need to write your offers. I give as much as I can that's non-specific, because I can't give specific advice if I don't know your transaction. But I believe in my heart that this book serves, the whole country, because it's dealing with both the psychology and the emotions and just the actual transactional day-to-day things. So I really want you to consider using the link below and picking up a copy of this book. I will also tell you that there will be times when I will come on here and I will do giveaways where I will send people copies of this. So I also do that because I really want this book to get out there and for people, even not in the Sacramento area, to have it and to have the information. Okay. So if you are thinking of selling a home in the Sacramento region, my number's below, my website's below. Contact me, text me. And if you are thinking of buying a place, I have agents all over the country that I can refer you to, for sellers too, outside of Sacramento. So all you need to do is give me a text, say, I saw your crazy long-winded YouTube video introducing yourself and I need an agent, and I will help you. Okay, I hope you have a great day and I hope I see you again. Bye-bye for now.